Standard 9th, Subject Geography, Chapter number 3, Exogenetic Processes, Part 1. Exogenetic processes means the processes that are occurring outside the earth, meaning on the surface of the earth. Many landforms are formed due to the internal movements. Please understand that under the surface of the earth, constant movements are happening. They are called as tectonic plates. They keep on moving and resulting in the formation of many landforms. Many processes occurring on the earth's surface also lead to the formation or degradation of landforms continuously. Degradation means destruction. In this lesson, we will be studying the exogenetic external processes and the landforms that are formed by them. External processes occur because of the forces working on the earth's surface. They are mainly solar energy, the energy that is coming from the sun, gravitational force, the force of the pull that is present on the earth, and the kinetic energy, the stored energy associated with the moving objects on the earth's surface. Now, landforms formed on the earth's surface as a result of internal movements are called primary and secondary landforms. What type of landforms? Continents, mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. So all the continents that we see on the earth, all the mountains that are formed, all the flat plateaus that are present, and the plain surfaces are all primary and secondary type of landforms which are formed as a result of internal movements of the earth. Because of the external processes like weathering, the effect of the weather, erosion, transportation and deposition, the primary and secondary landforms give way to tertiary landforms. Now, tertiary means the third type. They are formed because of the changes in the primary and secondary landforms. What are the examples of tertiary landforms? Valleys, the deep valleys that are formed between two mountains, sand dunes, sand in the form of huge mountains, delta, U-shaped valleys, etc. All these are tertiary landforms that are formed because of the external processes. Now, we are given pictures here. 3 pictures are given on this page and they are asking us to observe the physical appearance of the rocks in each picture. The physical appearance, what are the features that they are asking us to note? Rocks are broken, fractured, and are having holes in them. In one picture we can also see that the statue has been deformed. Deformed means deranged, it has been disturbed, the shape has been lost. Why has it been lost? Why the rocks are in such a condition? Because of the effect of the weather. Summer, scorching heat, monsoons, water coming in the form of rains, and chilling cold in the form of snow and ice result in the deformation or the degradation of the natural structures. Similar pictures are also continuing on the next page. In the figure 3.1a, they are describing it as exfoliation of dome-shaped hill. It was a dome-shaped hill. Exfoliation means coming out of the surfaces in the form of crust, in the form of thin plates. That is called as exfoliation. This is called as mechanical weathering. Why mechanical weathering? Because it happened because of the effect of the weather. Block disintegration is what we can see in figure 3.1b. This is again mechanical weathering. Figure C shows us shattering. Block disintegration means there are huge blocks in the form of cubes or rectangular shapes and they get disintegrated and broken down into smaller pieces. Shattering means a huge rock gets shattered as if someone has hit it with a huge hammer and it gets broken down into smaller pieces. The fourth picture shows us oxidation. Oxidation means the effect of the weather, the oxygen present in the weather having an effect on the material of the stone. Sometimes there is a high concentration of iron because of which the stone looks rusted. It becomes weak. This is called as chemical weathering. Why chemical weathering? Because it happens because of chemical reaction between the weather and the surface of the rock. Biological weathering is what is shown in the fifth picture. Biological means weathering happening because of the interference of animals and insects. For example, rabbits and snakes digging holes in the mud, or ants making their homes under the ground. All these are examples of biological weathering. Again, biological weathering is because of the trees, which is shown in the figure 6. The tree grew up and broke the stone, the huge boulder, into two. Figure G shows us the chemical weathering effect on a statue. Small holes have been formed on the surface because of chemical weathering. Also, chemical weathering effect in the form of salt weathering is shown on a rock in figure 6. Sorry, that is figure 8. Why salt weathering? Because this rock is near the sea, and the saline water, the salt content in the water, has created such grooves in the stone and deformed it. Now we will be having the geographical explanation why this happens. Breaking or weakening of rocks is a natural phenomena. Phenomenon means process. So because of the natural weather conditions, the rocks continuously are weakened and broken down into smaller pieces. This phenomenon, this process is called weathering. Weathering can be of three types: mechanical, that is physical, chemical, and biological. As already explained, mechanical is because of the weather or the flowing of the water on the rocks. Chemical is because of the chemical reactions that take place between the atmospheric gases and the surface of the rocks, and biological because of the animals and insects. In arid climates, that is dry climates, mechanical weathering is dominant, is very common, while in humid climates, in climates where there is too much of moisture in the air, chemical weathering is more effective. The effect of chemical weathering is seen more in humid climates, whereas biological weathering occurs because of living organisms, be it animals, insects, reptiles, birds, whatever we name it. Now, if we want to see an example of mechanical weathering, they are asking us to try taking an onion, cutting it in the middle, and observe the cut parts. If we try to remove each skin layer of these parts, we can see that the parts get destroyed and different layers, thin and thick, come out while we are peeling. That is the effect of mechanical weathering. Going ahead with the geographical explanation again, on page number 25, we will notice that just as we can remove each and every outer layer of the onion, similarly, in the nature, rocks undergo a similar process. The exposed part of the rock heats more while the inner part is comparatively cooler. Why? Because rock is a bad conductor of heat. It does not allow the heat to pass through to the core of the rock, to the center of the rock. As a result, the outer layers of the rocks fall apart from the main rock, whereas the internal part remains unaffected. This is called as exfoliation of the rock, meaning removal of the outer layer, layer by layer of the rock. Mechanical weathering mainly occurs because of the following reasons: temperature, be it extreme heat or extreme cold; frost, that is fog, small icy cold granules present in the air, crystal growth, deposition on the surface of the rock because of atmosphere, release of pressure because of the different air pressure conditions. The effect is seen on the surface, and water, whether it is flowing water or stagnant water, it has great effect on the surface. We will be studying these one by one, starting with temperature. The minerals in the rocks expand because of heat. We know that whenever any particular item is heated, it expands and contracts when temperature decreases. Due to such continuous contraction and expansion, tension develops in the rock particles. Each mineral, there are various minerals present in rocks. Each mineral reacts differently to the temperature. Every reaction of every element in the rock to the temperature is different. Some minerals expand more, while others expand less. They do not expand as much. Consequently, as a result, the tension formed in the rocks also increases and decreases depending on the temperature. And as a result, cracks develop in the rocks and they break. The cracks that develop, they make the rocks weak and ultimately they break. In areas where the diurnal range, diurnal means the range of temperature, the difference between morning and night, difference of temperature between day and night, the difference is higher. Weathering of this type is common in the hot deserts. So these areas have greater effect on the rocks and the topography and the physical makeup of the land in these areas because of high changes in temperature, extreme changes in temperature.